Hey guys, DJ here. Hold on, let me make sure my mic's not being weird. Mic, we're good. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about like tips and tricks and things like that for new players in Cold War, particularly the blind and visually impaired community, because that's what we're trying to do here, right? So we got blind ops, zombies crew more or less on PlayStation. Of course, we can do crossplay on PC and Xbox as well, but it's easier. If you're on PlayStation, join the group and we all get games and just play or whatever, just have fun. End goal being to actually be good at zombies, hopefully, and maybe some multiplayer depending on who wants to play. But at the very least, full squad of blind people in Outbreak or regular maps or whatever, and just see what we can do, right? See if we can get something decent going as a full squad of blind people, right? That's the dream. Hopefully Cherokee sees it, be like, hey, there's interest, and then they get accessibility and things are going good, right? Get more accessibility features and feedback from us and shit like that, right? So, how are you going to get into zombies if you're blind? Basically speaking, as far as sound engines go, since 2015 with Black Ops 3, we've been able to play zombies pretty good. Zombies Chronicles in Black Ops 3 all the way to Cold War, you're able to play it by sound. Black Ops 3 base maps, not so much, because the base engine for Black Ops 3 zombies sucks ass for sound. It just does. If you want a good introduction to zombies on how to stay alive in zombies, Onslaught is actually a pretty good explanation. I'm going to see if I can get some Onslaught going here really quick. I don't know what map. Just whatever, I guess, right? I don't know how to mess with Onslaught. Onslaught's always a weird thing. But the thing is, Onslaught is the idea of you play a multiplayer map, and as zombies on it, you follow this orb around and kill zombies. Pretty simple. The idea being, you're always moving, always trying to outmaneuver the zombies and this and that. The thing is, that's the core fundamental thing for zombies, is training and maneuverability. You can know all the Easter eggs, you can know all the damage stats for your guns. None of that means shit if you don't know how to outmaneuver and outtrain the zombies. And like, it's one of those skills where it's not like, oh, I'll just train and practice for like a week and be good. No, some people can take weeks, months, or even years, depending on how you learn and who you are, to train very good. Of course, high round world record holders, them motherfuckers are committed and play for decades. I'm not even kidding. People are still trying to do Black Ops 1 shit. It's like insane. My point being, I'm gonna put up Onslaught and you guys can get an idea of what it's like, hopefully on a decent map.
Let's go to work, strike team. Clear the AO.
Yeah, so now, I'm just gonna chill here by this orb.
Body drop.
Kill.
The orb is powered by essence it collects from the undead. We're still trying to understand it, but we know it'll help you survive in these breach zones.
Move on my waypoint.
Did my M16 level up? That'd be nice.
Setting rally point.
My aim is so bad today.
That orb is your guardian angel. Stay with it. It'll protect you as you move through the zone.
There we go. So this is the basic idea of Onslaught. I almost said Outbreak. Outbreak's a whole different thing. So yeah, that's the basic idea of Onslaught. There's two other alterations, Onslaught Accelerated and Onslaught Containment. The containment speeds up the rounds a lot because it's on the gunfight, tiny maps, and they changed some of the mechanics around to make it a little faster. And then acceleration, it's like this on, it's kind of like base Onslaught, but it just gets faster and faster and faster and faster and faster as you go. Regular Onslaught actually stays at this pace pretty consistently. The only thing that changes is zombie speed and health. They go up. But the orb will start, then stop, it's like red light, green light, basically. So I would recommend, if you're blind or vision impaired, try some Onslaught to get the feel for how the zombies move, how you move, the sound of the game. And then you can move into round-based and Outbreak. Personally, I prefer Outbreak more, as most people know this. I'm committed to getting D-Machine, Pack-a-Punch, and other Pack-a-Punch things just to prove we can, right? You know, that flex, like, hey, I'm blind, I still turn on the power, fuck you, you know, I'm not that egotistical. Okay, I kind of am. But the point being, from Onslaught, and if you get your feet wet, you're like, okay, I want to try this more on real maps, real zombies maps. I don't, Onslaught's kind of side thing. I don't really consider it part of zombies. It's like a warm-up thing. I don't know. Onslaught, it's fun for a minute, but it's not like great. So then next thing you got round-based and Outbreak. And I'm not going to boot up a match for either one. You guys have seen plenty of Outbreak and round-based from other channels or myself. But the core concepts, basically speaking, round-based and Outbreak are the same idea of kill zombies, get more points, and use them to survive. And Outbreak gives you the side stuff of objectives you have to focus on while killing zombies, which I just think is way more fun than just round-based. Round-based is cool, it's fun. It's kind of tedious and boring, though, because you do the same shit over and over. Which, yes, technically, Outbreak, you do the same shit over and over. But it's always different shit on different maps with different environments, obstacles, and I mean, enemy types are pretty consistent, but it's like there's little neat, like, I don't know, there's more variety, I feel like, in Outbreak than round-based, personally speaking. As far as playing solo, I personally am not a big solo zombies player. Like, even when I had vision, I prefer, like, it's just better to play with friends. It's never good to do solo, unless you want to challenge yourself. Hey, I did round 30 hardcore difficulty solo on Black Ops 4, right? So that's what I did. I'm like, I want to see if we can do this. I did it. It was hell, but I fucking did it. And at this point, like, I play solo just enough to try and get Pack-a-Punch, and that's about it. Like, I don't really care if I go high round. Like, I'd like to get, like, round 30, right? But I realistically, like, at this point, it's such a pain in the ass. So I just play with friends and subs and people on Discord and whoever else, right? So I try to. Generally, of course, because blind ops and what we're doing with that, we're blind believer, and like primarily it's an easy way for everybody to get involved with the community, right? The tiny community we do have, but it's more, it's friends, it's, we're trying to put all the blind people we can in that group, and then whoever else, really, that's about it. A couple other people who are not blind, but the idea being, like, someone asked me as well, like, what game do I recommend? Personally, Cold War is a good example because sound engine is the best sound engine we have for zombies, specifically the zombies mode in Call of Duty. But Black Ops 4 is actually a pretty good introduction as well, because you have casual difficulty, normal difficulty, hardcore, and realistic, and you have classified, which is one of the easiest maps to learn, as well as, like, get your feet with, listening to zombies in the game and stuff. Like Black Ops 4, I think if you wanted to play Black Ops 4, you couldn't go wrong with casual and classified, or even maybe Blood of the Dead or Ancient Evil. Like, I'm actually downloading Black Ops 4 again because I just like Black Ops 4, so there's that. I would not recommend Black Ops 3 unless you get Chronicles, because based on the sound engine alone, Black Ops 3 is not a good zombies experience based on the sound, but Chronicles is, because it was like a Black Ops 3.5 type of sound engine. It was just before Black Ops 4 came out, and I think they were using Chronicles to test out how zombies would sound in BO4. And so Chronicles to BO4 is not a big jump for sound, and BO4 to Cold War is not a huge jump. But the thing that is a huge jump is more so that you have the ping button, because a lot of the sounds in Cold War are pretty similar to BO4. You have a sound for your special field upgrade, weapon thing, whatever. You have a sound for reload, sound to indicate you don't have any ammo left, sound to indicate equipment or drops, and, like, there's sounds for everything from BO4 and Cold War. The main difference is the ping button. That's the main difference from BO4 to Cold War. The ping button is like a visual thing, right? Like, or auditory if you're deaf. You ping, your character says a line, and depending on what you're pinging, it'll have different sound effects and different lines for what, right? If you're pinging the floor, it'll say, like, tagging location. If you're pinging a zombie or a special zombie or elite, they'll say, like, enemy or whatever, and that sound will change. Same with objectives. Objectives and dialogue will change, so you can identify what you're looking at to an extent. And it helps because you can't ping the sky, so you know if you're aiming at the sky. That's the other thing too, is the Cold War sound engine is so robust that you can actually determine when you're aiming up or down too much. The best I can visualize it, if this makes any sense, is think of like a 3D, three-dimensional, think like a circle, right? If it's flat horizontally, you can hear it all around you, right? But if you tilt that circle like back, so one end is going down, one is the front end is going up, the back end's going down, so technically you'd be looking up, then the sound's going to shift like that. So like the sound is going to kind of go a little, like, it's not going to sound like completely to left and right horizontal. It's going to sound different, and you can actually tell when you're aiming up and down too far, and then bring it back and correct your aim to an extent. You can verify with the ping button, and then of course if you're shooting shit. The other thing too is your honestly, if you really think about just how much detail there is in Cold War, there's not much of a leap from BO4 to Cold War. I think Cold War and BO4 both offer good environments for learning how to play zombies and get good. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, we have Discord and PlayStation group and all these other things. Like if you're crossplay, you can do Discord. If you're on PlayStation, you can join the group. No big deal. Personally speaking, I'd say Cold War, just because that's what everybody's on right now. That's what I'm trying to help everybody learn, and other people are trying to help each other learn and all that. So that's what I recommend. So again, thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a good day. And I'm going to go live on Twitch. Goodbye.